Let's get to our top story, and it's the US President Joe Biden and China's leader Xi Jinping that have plunged into their first face-to-face meeting in a year that took place yesterday in San Francisco. The intent on working to stabilize fraught relations and showing the world that while they are global economic competitors, they are not locked in a winner-take-all face-off. The US President and Chinese President shook hands and pledged to reduce tensions. Biden opened his remarks by saying that tensions should not veer into conflict. Xi Jinping has responded by saying that turning their backs on each other is not even an option for the superpowers. The 80-year-old Biden held out an olive branch to Xi Jinping, 70-year-old, on the eve of the talks, insisting that the United States was not trying to decouple from China and wanted to improve the relationship.
President Xi and I tasked our teams to maintain a policy and law enforcement coordination going forward to make sure it works. Secondly, and this is critically important, we're reassuming military-to-military contact, direct contacts. So we're back to direct, open, clear, direct communications on a direct basis. Vital miscalculations on either side can cause real trouble with a country like China or any other major country. And so I think we're making real progress there as well. Well, look, he is. I mean, he's a dictator in the sense that he is the guy who runs a country that is a communist country that is based on a form of government totally different than ours.
And of course, there are major key takeaways, including the restoration of the two countries' military hotline, which Beijing had severed after the then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan last year, and the cooperation to limit Chinese export of the ingredients of the opioid drug that's sweeping America. So major key takeaways there. We have a lot that was said and a lot that was, no big announcements as such. But of course, US and China, they're trying to, the major talks, of course, the hot topic there being Taiwan. That was the hot topic during the meeting. They spoke about, they described it as a crucial topic as far as the relationship between US and China is concerned, calling the planet Earth big enough for the two countries to succeed, while confrontation was an unbearable consequence, is how it was put. Biden, of course, opened his remarks by saying that tensions should not veer into conflict, and Xi Jinping responded by saying that turning their backs on each other is not an option for the superpowers. Closed-door talks on issues included Taiwan, sanctions, as well as trade. The last time Biden and Xi Jinping met in person was in Bali in November of 2022, and relations nosedived after the United States shot down an alleged Chinese spy balloon in February this year. Well, to get more on this, we have Sonia Sing joining us from San Francisco. Sonia, take us through the key takeaways and the key highlights of the meeting between Xi Jinping and Joe Biden.
Well, Divya, good evening here from San Francisco, where really the big headline is that meeting between President Biden and President Xi Jinping. Remember, this is the first time that President Xi Jinping has come to the U.S. after 5 years. The big headline is that the U.S. and China have agreed to resume high-level military communication. Why this is big is because China had cut military ties after the then House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi had visited Taiwan. So that's a big decision to resume military communications and high-level military contact. This also, as Taiwan and the elections there next year came up in the talks between President Biden and President Xi, with President Biden urging that the electoral process be normal, President Xi also laying out China's red lines and asking that America not interfere in Taiwan's in China's internal affairs regarding Taiwan. So that was one stumbling block there. But of course, the big headline is the fact that the meeting took place. President Biden called the meeting constructive and productive, saying it's best to talk directly leader to leader. He held a press conference just a short while ago, but of course in ad hoc comments at the end of the press conference, he also called President Xi a dictator. So we're waiting to see the Chinese reaction to that, Divya.
Right, Sonia, you mentioned Taiwan, and of course, they're saying that it was a hot topic as far as that meeting is concerned. Of course, that's described as very crucial when it comes to US-China relations.
Yes, Divya, but of course also we have to look at what the other big takeaways were, that President Xi in his remarks made the point that the US-China relationship is the most important bilateral relation in the world, that this needs to be constructive and there should not be a spirit of confrontation. So important words there, stressing the importance China now putting on this relationship. President Biden also making the point that it was productive and constructive, but this is early days. As we said, it's coming amid increasing US-China tension, and of course, President Biden keeping the relationship very warm and close with, for example, the Quad Summit happening in India next year, and President Biden coming to India as well, is likely to be the chief guest of Republic Day. So, though this is an important meeting in a sense, there's been no real breakthrough except for the fact that high-level military communications are now to resume. But of course, Divya, let me just make the point that President Xi is here for the APEC summit, and that's a meeting of 21 countries. We've also got Japan's president here. We've got Russia's deputy prime minister, and India has been invited here for the first time as a guest. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal, who's in San Francisco, was asked about the US-China talks, and he's made the point that he doesn't want to see the India-US relationship through a China plus one strategy, as some put it, but made the point that India and the US are on a track of relationships of progression, which, as was described recently, is something like the Chandrayaan moon landing.
Right, Sonia, so you did mention confrontation is what was brought up in that meeting. Confrontation has unbearable consequences is what was said, and planet Earth is big enough for the two countries to succeed. Take us through how India is looking at this meeting between, the two countries, China and the leaders of the two countries, China and the US.
No, well, of course, the meeting will be watched very closely by India and observers of the relationship. But I think India has made it clear that the current progress of India-US relations is, in a way, unprecedented. There has been yesterday the innovation handshake, which has looked at bringing down regulation between the startup systems in both countries. And India and the US looking to build much closer relations, which actually, they say, has nothing to do with the US-China relationship or this meeting happening right now. And progression, as we said, on the Quad Summit happening next year in New Delhi in January, just 2 months away, and a possible Biden visit for Republic Day.
Too good to be true is how Virat Kohli described the first reaction after breaking Sachin Tendulkar's ODI ton record, after reaching that milestone, of course, lifting his arms in the air and then sunk on the ground looking towards the stand, and of course in admiration for Sachin Tendulkar, of course, paying his tribute there as well. Let's just find out how the fans are reacting in Mumbai. We have Abhira, my colleague, joining us. Abhira, take us through how are the fans reacting to Virat Kohli's record-breaking score?
Oh my God, the excitement is skyrocketing. I am here with kids who are big Virat Kohli fans. India! 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 अच्छा, विराट कोहली का मैच सबने देखा कि नहीं देखा? Yes! अच्छा, what is the plan for Sunday? Sunday क्या plan है सबका? They all plan to sit at home and watch the match on Sunday. They are very excited about what the match they saw yesterday. कल सबसे अच्छा क्या लगा मैच में? विराट कोहली और शामी के 7 विकेट. You can see. I don't know if you can hear them, but they are extremely excited, and you can see that. The Sunday will be great for them.
Abhira, so all. Well, all the best to Team India for Sunday. Thank you so much, Veera, for getting us all those reactions, all those fans there of Virat Kohli, and of course, all of us here also huge fans of Virat Kohli. Now, slipping into a very short break. We'll be back with a whole lot more. Welcome back. Let's get you the latest from the tragedy in Doda. 39 people have died and 19 others have been injured. This is after a bus that fell into a gorge in Jammu and Kashmir. The bus carrying 56 passengers on board skidded off the road near the National Highway and fell 300 feet downhill.
One of the deadliest road accidents in Jammu and Kashmir in recent times. 36 people were killed, 19 injured, when the bus they were travelling in skidded off the road and fell into a 400 feet deep gorge. The overcrowded bus, carrying 55, was coming from Kishwar to Jammu when it met with the accident at Asar in Doda district.
In this hour of grief with the families, although there is no compensation for the lost ones, for the diseased ones, but whatever possible is being sought to be done.
It took rescuers several hours to retrieve the bodies and evacuate the injured to the hospital. Of the 19 injured, 6 are critical.
पेयर्स उस लोकेशन पे नए लगे थे और क्रैश बैरियर्स के ऊपर से गाड़ी जंप करके नीचे गिरी है, तो हम इसकी इंक्वायरी कर रहे हैं, जो भी होगा पेंडिंग से आ जाएगा.
While the exact cause of the accident is not yet known, the bus was overcrowded. Sources say the road permit of the bus had also expired several months ago and it was running illegally. In the last 8 months, there have been over 4,000 road accidents in Jammu and Kashmir, killing over 500 people. The roads in Pir Panjal and Chenab Valley regions are considered some of the most dangerous and accident prone. Expressing their anguish over the accident, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced an ex-gratia relief of 2 lakh rupees to the next of the kin of the deceased.
This is the worst bus tragedy in recent times in Jammu and Kashmir, and yet another tragic accident on the deadly roads of Chenab Valley. The bus was clearly overcrowded and there are reports that it was plying without route permit. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
Let's get you the latest from Uttarakhand. 40 people continue to be stranded. These are labourers that have been stuck there since Sunday morning, more than 96 hours later. Efforts are being made in order to aid a rescue mission, and protests also erupted at the site on Wednesday as many expressed their anger over the delays that are being caused. Of course, it was also a landslide that led to rescue operations being hampered on a Tuesday night, and the Indian Air Force aircraft has airlifted drilling equipments and other critical equipment required for the relief and rescue operations. Drilling equipment weighing almost 7 tons was flown to the Marganga airport near the site. Now this, like we did mention, it was a landslide and technical issues that hampered the rescue operations. 3 special aircrafts of the Indian Air Force transported a 25-ton ray of hope for the 40 labourers who have been trapped in the tunnel in Uttarakhand. Special teams from Thailand and Norway, including the one that have helped save the children stuck in a cave in Thailand in 2018, have also been roped in to aid in the rescue of the labourers who've been trapped after that under-construction tunnel collapsed on the Char Dham route in Uttarakhand. The special machine, which is being brought to site from Delhi, can penetrate 4 to 5 meters of debris in an hour, and if all goes well, they will help push the rescue pipe to the spot where the labourers are trapped.
96 घंटे से ज़्यादा का समय हो चुका है। 40 जिंदगियों को बचाने का लगातार प्रयास किया जा रहा है। जो अंदर एक ऑगर मशीन है, जो बड़ी मशीन आई थी, उसके ये जो ब्लेड्स है, क्योंकि बाकी चीज़ें इंस्टॉल हो गई है, ये कटर है, ये अंदर यहाँ चलेंगे और ये मिट्टी को काटते हुए ये पाइप के बीच में फिट होंगे और ये काटते रहेंगे और मिट्टी इनके थ्रू पीछे जाती रहेगी। ये 3 हैं, इससे पहले 3 और आए थे, उनको अंदर इंस्टॉल कर दिया गया है और अब फिलहाल ये अब दोबारा यहाँ जाने की तैयारी में है और इनकी ज़रूरत है, इनको फिट किया जाएगा। ये काफ़ी लंबे लंबे पाइप होते हैं, काफ़ी मजबूत है और इनकी स्पीड जो है, जो ड्रिल करेगी मशीन, इनकी स्पीड 5 मीटर 1 घंटे में, यानी ये तेज़ी से करेगी। और जिस प्रकार की मिट्टी है, मिट्टी इस तरीके के है क्योंकि ये वही मलबा है जो वहाँ से निकल रहा है अंदर, यानी आप देख सकते हैं कि इस तरीके का मलबा, ज़्यादा बड़ी चट्टानें नहीं है इसमें, और ये इस तरीके के मलबे को ये तेज़ी से करेंगे। इनको जो इंजीनियर्स हैं, इनको इस बात का विश्वास है कि इस तरह की मिट्टी को ये तेजी से ड्रिल करेंगे और उन लोगों को बाहर सुरक्षित निकालेंगे। सिलकारा टनल से एनडीटीवी इंडिया के लिए किशोर रावत।
Anger, despair and this protest by workers outside the Uttarakhand tunnel, where 40 of their colleagues are trapped for 80 plus hours now.
नहीं निकल पा रहे सर, बहुत दिन हो रहा है, 4 दिन हुआ है, फंसे हुए हैं, वो लोग भी दुख तकलीफ से पड़े हुए हैं।
शनिवार को गुस्सा दिन है, अभी तक खाना पानी कुछ नहीं गया, लोग झूठ बोलता है, सब मजाक बना के रखा है। सर हम अंदर में काम करता हूँ, हम अंदर में काम करता हूँ सर, हमको मालूम नहीं है।
74 घंटे से ज्यादा का समय गुजर चुका है और जो परिजन हैं उनका भी अब धैर्य जवाब दिया जा रहा है, क्योंकि उनके अपने अंदर है और अभी तक बाहर आने की कोई ऐसी संभावना नहीं दिख रही है। हमारे साथ ये परिजन मौजूद है। आपका नाम क्या है?
तीरथ सिंह नेगी।
अच्छा, एक चीज बताइए, क्योंकि अब समय भी गुजर जाता है, आपको लग रहा है कि समय ज्यादा निकल रहा है और आपको परेशानी हो रही है, इंतजार ज्यादा बढ़ता जा रहा है?
नहीं देखो, हमें तो कोई, हमारे को तो एक ही ध्यान है कि वो जो बेचारे वहाँ फंसे हुए हैं वो बाहर आए, हमारा ध्यान उन्हीं पे है कि वो सुरक्षित बाहर आए।
लगातार वहाँ पर इनकी नजरें इसी टनल पर टिकी हुई है और इस टनल पर इसलिए टिकी हुई है क्योंकि यहाँ से उनके परिजन धीरे धीरे बाहर आए।
This as a fresh landslide hampered rescue efforts, with the drilling machine being used to try and insert steel pipes through the rubble not performing well. Officials were forced to postpone the rescue till a new, more sophisticated drilling machine was airlifted from Delhi.
Himalayan region comprises soft rocks in general, and only in patches, in small portions, there are hard, stable rocks, and it's a difficult situation.
थोड़ा सा जो पत्थर दिखाना चाहूँगा कि किस तरीके से वो मटेरियल पे है, ये थोड़ा मटेरियल ये इस तरीके के पत्थर पे और इस तरीके से चूरा निकल रहा है, क्योंकि हम लगातार जो ट्रक्स बाहर मलबा लेके आ रहे हैं वो इस तरीके का मटेरियल है। ये पूरी तरह से इस तरीके का चूरा अंदर मौजूद है और ये लगातार जो मटेरियल निकल जा रहा है वो इस तरीके का मटेरियल है। पहाड़ की बात करें जो टनल के ठीक ऊपर है, हम ठीक वहां पर मौजूद है जहां पर ये लोग फंसे हैं। एग्जैक्ट तो नहीं है लेकिन ठीक उसके आसपास ही है। ये पूरा पहाड़ है। ये पहाड़ अगर नीचे से हाइट देखी जाए तो लगभग ये 200 मीटर से ऊपर पहाड़ है और टनल इसके नीचे से जा रही है।
A statement by the government company executing the project said all those trapped continue to remain safe and healthy. But as the hours go by, anxiety over their condition is rising. With Kishore Rawat, Bureau Report, NDTV.